Hello, welcome to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of what's in our stand today. Let's take a look what we have. We have a nice Pinarello here that while this gentleman was out riding, just doing his normal everyday shifting, his left shifter broke. This is a SRAM Rival shifter, and it broke, and so you can see just a lot of stuff going on there, and quite a bit of corrosion that I found on the mounting hardware, and later I'll show you the brake calipers as well. So this gentleman's methodology as of late has been making upgrades to the bike slowly. And, so he's got a red rear derailleur, a red front derailleur, and a force crank. So he's got all three groups pretty much handled, except for Apex. But he's got Rival shifters that broke, and he's got a red front and rear derailleur, and then a force crank. Now, the challenge became that he wanted to upgrade his shifters to SRAM red shifters to go along with his derailleurs. However, the challenge was that he was riding a 10-speed drivetrain, and just didn't make any sense to spend money on red 10-speed shifters when he should have been looking at maybe 11-speed drivetrain upgrade. So all he would have needed to do is a 11-speed cassette, the new shifters, and hopefully that the derailleurs, you needed a yaw derailleur to work that red front derailleur, and hopefully the rear derailleur would have been compatible. Well, cost was too much. Force 22 was also too much, so we went back to Rival, and we're just going to replace the broken left shifter, and that's what we have here. So there's the broken left shifter, I should say the new left shifter, to replace the broken left shifter. And he also wanted to upgrade the brake calipers that he had on his bike, and there's the corrosion I spoke of earlier on the front mounting bolt. That happens. There's a lot of splashing that goes on in that area off the front wheel, but the rear was a lot cleaner. So Most is a Pinarello house brand, and my Pinarello tandem came with a lot of Most components, and a lot of companies do this again to keep the cost down. It's much more expensive for them to put Shimano brakes or SRAM brakes, or if it's a a specialized bike or something, they use like Tektro brakes. They use off-branded brakes, and so sometimes it's very important that when you are pricing one bike compared to another bike, if it says it's Ultegra, then you need to check to make sure that everything's Ultegra. The brakes, the crankset, those are the two most common places where the manufacturer says, oh, it's an Ultegra equipped bike, but then they'll have an FSA crankset and possibly, FSA or some other type of brakes. Tektro is a common substitute. It costs more money to have a complete kit, in the sense that the derailleurs may even do a 105 front derailleur, a Ultegra rear derailleur, and then have an FSA crank and Tektro brakes and call it a Shimano Ultegra equipped bike. So anyway, just always be aware of that when you're price shopping on a bike, that if one bike is a couple of $100 more than the other, maybe it's because the components on that bike are a full complement of a group, whether it be SRAM or Shimano. Okay, well, so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to replace the left shifter. We are going to replace the brake calipers, and cable and housing for everything. So we have some nice stainless steel cables that we're going to use. The slick wire would be an upgrade, but he chose not to do the slick wire. So another time we might be able to do that upgrade. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again sometime soon.